Alright, so we have some technical difficulties, and we are no longer able to stream, so we are currently recording. We'll just upload this later.
Camera on?
Camera is on.
Yeah,
so what just happened is Idris cast Burning Hands, which the rogue over here dodged, and the gladiator took the full brunt of. And he then, with a natural 20, intimidated the gladiator and told him that if he's feeling hot, he should probably go swim.
Yeah.
Which he does. He turns around and starts running, meaning that Hannah, you get an opportunity attack. Do you want to attack him on the way?
Stab him! Slay him! I don't know.
Finish him.
I was kind of thinking of
Eat
attacking,
him.
or I was kind of thinking just kick him and sort of encourage him off the end of the boat.
Kick his butt.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. 19.
That hits.
Yeah, that hits. All right. Do you want to attack him with grapple, or do you want to attack him with your sword?
Or do you want to kick him? That'd be just, yeah.
Sword, just because
Alright.
in case he doesn't quite
Sword.
get to the edge of the bed, or...
Roll damage with your sword.
2d6.
Yes, I would like to
2d6. Roll
know.
2d6.
Go.
6.
6. 4.
4.
All right.
12.
He had
12.
3 hit points.
Can
So as
I
he
finally
starts
murderize the dude?
as he starts to make mad dash, you just take your sword and with a look, you end up. He ends up his arms aren't really moving quite right, and his legs kind of fall. And you realize that you definitely broke his spine. He kind of
Cleft
falls
in twain.
right towards the edge, not quite over
Aw.
the railing of the boat next to Idris.
Can I kick him off now? As I move me?
It's not your turn.
That's right.
Well, I mean, you can do that on your turn,
Yeah.
or Idris can toss him over now because he's right there. I mean, whatever you
No,
want to
toss
do.
him over, please.
He's dead, and I'm as weak as straw.
What's your
Wow.
Ooh.
What is it?
It is an 8.
Oh!
I am not strong, I am deft.
You're pretty.
Anyway,
I'm
so
not that either. All my persuasion checks have been at +1.
that's it for Micah, correct?
Yes.
That's
All right,
funny.
next up in the order is Grady. So there's the guy who you kind of get the idea that we're beating up half-heartedly now, right next to you, and then there is still the archer.
Yes. After seeing Halon sort of seemingly hit the guy, I use
Friend of the
vicious mockery and say, "Take that, you foul scum!"
Okay,
Makes a wisdom save.
makes a wisdom save. Which, okay, what's the spell DC?
14.
He succeeds his wisdom save.
Okay.
Sweet happens.
Yeah, takes no damage.
He seems to think you're still playing along with him, even
Yes.
though you don't realize you guys are playing a game. And he's like, "Oh no!" He's rather oblivious to the fact that one of his comrades has passed on. Next up is now it's back up to Hannah.
Okay, well, I really would like to kick this dude overboard. Wait! He's right next to the archer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is screaming, right? And thinking about diving into the ocean to...
No, that was the barbarian.
That
was
that
the
was the
That's
that
guy.
right,
was the guy you just said.
That's right, that's what I
That's
thought.
the dead
Okay. Is there a way that I can simultaneously kick this dude into the ocean, sort of get him off our boat, and attack the other dude?
You can use your bonus action to kick the guy.
Okay. I would like to attack the archer.
I'm saying that now because he is dead, and that's not actually an attack.
Right. I just want to sort of shove him off.
Yes, you can do that. Do you want to take your bonus action first?
No, I'd rather take out the archer guy first.
All right, so you're running up to right here.
Yep.
All right, so you run right up to there. Does he get a reaction for you charging at him? The archer? Okay, didn't think so. Go ahead and make your attack.
Oh!
Go ahead and make an attack.
That hits.
So what am I at?
Plus
Plus 4, so 20.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So 2d6.
5, 7.
7 plus 2, 4.
4, yes.
4.
So
So
11.
All right. And go ahead while you're at it, just right now. Make your athletics check against the guy leaning against the rail.
It's like 2, maybe.
All right. So you rush up to the guy,
That's
and with a beautiful spin, you take your sword, swing around, and with a clean, you hear, splunk, as this guy, in 2 parts, falls into the ocean below. And then, following up that spin, you go to grab the body and end up actually smacking the bottom of the rail with your wrist really hard. BAM!
Good thing I'm already kind of wearing a splint.
I thought you were gonna say smack the corpses, but
No, that's what I was doing for 1.
yeah.
Turns out he wasn't dead. Oh!
Cleft in twain, non-lethal.
Well, that got interesting real quick.
Alright, is that your turn?
Yes.
Alright, so after Hannah is going to be,
The archer?
it's going, no, he's dead.
The archer is
The archer's
cut in
dead.
half
So
and
there's
chopped
the,
off.
your lookalike buddy over here is going to, take a quick look around. He doesn't really pay attention to his surroundings, so he's still thinking this is going on. And he's like, oh no, I'm about to be slain. He's gonna make a performance check. That's a natural 20. He is screaming in absolute terror as he's looking up at this knight in armor before him. Oh no! Oh, my family! Oh, who's gonna take care of my children? You know, it's
Don't
heartbreaking.
worry, we'll take good care of them.
Make an intimidation check.
I was gonna go to adopt the dude,
That's
but
a 16.
Okay, he's going to. That was a natural 1. He looks over at you with this look of like, sort of like, it looks at you and says, looks around, is everyone else going? Okay, that was just for show. I don't have any kids, and you sound like my boss. Now what do you guys do?
We murder.
Speaking
I'm
of which,
I'm going to help him up and tell everybody to stay away and don't touch this guy. We're taking him.
Oh, I don't need to touch him to kill him.
I go
You
over
stay
and I
away.
open the door for Jason.
Alright, so you open the door for Jason. Jason breaks in, basically almost pushes you over on the way out, and he pulls out swords, and he sees, meanwhile, you're helping this guy, he's like, everything fine?
Everything's fine. We took care of them.
No thanks.
Well, we took
To
care of
you.
the first 3.
well, I killed 2 guys.
And he looks at you, he's like, oh really, you know what, you should tell me all
I
about
want
it.
to. Is there still breakfast anywhere else?
There is, you know what, I have this lovely vintage, yes.
Thank
Anyway, it's not about this guy. There's more. And I look around.
you. How much are you worth to the others?
Are the other ships?
Like I said, you sound like my boss.
Are the
so
other
no
ships
lie.
still there?
The other ship is still there, and seeing the initial force just kind of very quickly, this is taking like 30 seconds,
Yeah.
taken out, you see that this ship is starting to steer away, but there's still the red ship behind you that's still gaining a bit of ground.
It's not over yet, guys.
You get a sense this is more to test your guys' metal than anything else.
I'm
Can I?
injured.
Do I?
Does anyone have any sort of healing
Do I have a?
potion?
There's more breakfast downstairs,
Yes,
and I'm
yes,
gonna
you do have a
investigate
telescope.
that.
I want to look at the other red ship and see if I know anybody else on that ship.
Okay, make a perception check.
I'm going to loot the body of this gladiator before we dump it over the body on the side of the ship.
Go for
If
it.
there's
Actually,
anything of
yeah, there's still that
value.
one.
13.
13. You recognize the flag on the ship, and you recognize what pirate group this is that has been plaguing the seas for a while, but you don't see any specific people on board.
Right. So the person that I'm looking for is not there.
Yeah, no, the person you're looking for is not as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Meanwhile, on the body of the mercenary sailor pirate guy, you find he's got some leather armor, which is now quite worse to wear in the back area, particularly, and burning and not smelling very good. But you also find a pouch containing 3 gold pieces.
I'll take that. No, I have 2 pouches. No, I just want the gold.
Okay, toss the pouch overboard.
Like,
Littering.
All right, so
no littering on my ship.
I'm not littering on your ship. I'm littering
Gregory.
off of your ship.
Would you
The
happen?
ocean.
Would you happen to have
Out
any
of my ship.
healing spells of any kind?
Retrieve it immediately.
We
Oh,
already
because
threw
I,
the
because
body
I forgot that
overboard.
paladins don't get spells until level 2.
Well, I do have the healing word.
Yes.
All right.
Healing. That would be nice and
Ooh.
appreciated.
So do I?
Igris requires assistance.
Wait,
So speak a healing word or an encouraging song, and then roll whatever the healing word is. D4.
1d4?
I vote that we make him sing the
It's
encouraging
level
song.
1, so
Oh, that's. You have,
to the books.
you have a book over there. You look it up.
It's in the back. It's in the back
It's in the back.
after the tags. Keep going. It's more in the middle. I really should have a tab for spells.
Seriously.
We
These
should
are
actually just
spells.
write them out and have them as
Yeah.
cards.
What is it? Healing?
Healing word.
I could probably find it faster.
It's a competition, guys.
No.
I've always got it. Remember the H's.
Healing word. 1d4 plus spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
Yes.
So roll 1d4.
It's right there. Obviously.
Me?
Yeah.
Roll 1d4.
And then add 4 to it. Max healing, 8 points.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can only take 3 of that.
All right. So feeling much
So
better.
then you use your charisma.
I mark off that you cast
Okay.
a spell.
So
And then
now
mark off
that
that you use
that's
the
all
spell.
over,
So-
we get to back to
Back there.
I feel so much better.
There, I reckon making a tally mark. saying
Chakal.
you've expended one.
Yes.
So what's his name?
What do they
Jason?
mean?
Jason
After a
comes
long
back up
rest.
with a platter of food, and he also brought back a already opened bottle of wine.
Cool.
And he's like, "Well, shall we take, I guess, lunch now?" And points up to the foredeck.
Okay.
Is the ship behind? The ship's left.
It's still there, but it's no longer gaining ground.
So I don't care anymore. I'm just eating food because I'm hungry. Because I had like
Perhaps-
2 rolls for breakfast.
Perhaps we should wait for lunch until we
Finish
see that
interrogating our
these
prisoner.
people. He's not our prisoner. Perhaps
Well,
we should wait for lunch.
If he's
till
not
we-
a prisoner, then he's a stowaway, isn't he?
He
No.
looks at both of you guys like, "Listen, I would be happy to tell you anything possible to get us further away from them. So if you
I'll
have questions,
take him.
ask away."
Captain's quarters now.
Okay.
I am-
You, prisoner, me.
Okay, I'm a prisoner. That's cool. That's fine. That's all right.
So we're doing good cop, bad cop, and person who's actually in charge.
We're not going to hurt you, I promise.
Okay.
I
Well,
promise nothing.
that's nice to know.
See? Good
We're
cop.
not going to hurt him.
We're not going to hurt him.
He's
He
not
gave
going to
himself
hurt you.
willingly.
So, the 3 of you guys. So you're now in the captain's quarter here.
There's 4 of us.
So there's good cop, bad cop, Sue
in
cop.
charge. Good cop, bad cop, Sue cop.
And I'm up
One
above
cop.
the.
Pseudo cop.
One cop, 2
Wait,
cop,
aren't they
red
down?
cop, Sue cop.
Are they downstairs or in the?
Anyway, so
I
y'all are
approve.
there. What were you gonna ask him? He's sitting there and he's looking around the captain's
Wait,
quarters.
is that guy still on the deck? The dead guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you
I.
throw him over?
I'm weak.
Oh right.
Me too.
What is your quest?
So the other sailors.
What is your favorite
deal
color?
So he's sitting. He just kind of stands there, almost twiddling his thumbs, like. So you guys gonna ask something or?
What?
Oh my face.
What are you doing on my ship?
Well,
That was rather obvious, I thought.
pirates are people who invade other people's ships and try to take stuff. The particular group that I was with, sometimes people come there willingly. Sometimes they're kind of brought on board whether they want to or not. The survivors of previous ships, and so yeah, we were kind of just sent here.
Sent here by.
We were sent here by our particular captain of this particular ship to.
Could you
see-
possibly be more vague, please?
I mean, he looks like he's sort of confused. You get the idea. He's not very bright. He's like, I could, if you want me
No.
to. Okay, so
Why
the
am I
captain.
always surrounded by idiots?
So the captain of the particular ship that I was on, his name was Forkno, and
Pinocchio?
Gesundheit.
What?
So
Say it again.
Captain Forkno.
Pinocchio.
Gesundheit. So anyway, he's he's not very bright either. He's just very aggressive and mean. He generally just kind of bullies everyone else in line, and that's where I came from, really.
14 to history to know who Forkno is.
You don't personally know Forkno.
I know of him.
You know that he is a captain of the Red Ravens, which are the pirates that have attacked you. And you know that the Red Ravens is a fleet of pirate ships. So there are individual ones who work more or less independently.
Yeah.
So Forkno is the guy who's in this local waters.
Do you know anything about the other ship that was there?
Oh yes, well the other ship, that would be the Mage's Storm. They're not very creative with their names over there. That's where they keep most of the mage people, and I don't know much about them. They don't say much that we can understand.
Great. Any other questions?
Yes. How do you want to die?
No.
I like to die of old age in my bed, surrounded by people who love me, because I have never had any of those things.
Mercy Light. You, Mercy Light. You can take him to the brig if you want.
Come with me, friend.
So he follows you, and when he sees the brig, he's like, "Oh, that's better than my quarters on the other boat."
It's a nice ship.
Glad we could help.
What can I say?
And I'm going to tell Tessa to watch out, to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Just like make sure nothing happens to him.
Nothing bad's gonna happen to him.
All right.
Unless it drowns.
It drowns.
He
I don't wanna talk
actually
about it.
walks up to your horse, and he's like, "Oh, we used to have these back at home." He's about to like put his hand on his muzzle, and the horse is and, "Oh, okay, that's just the horse. Got it. All right, I'm just gonna stand in this corner over here." And
He's a mite temperamental. You have to forgive him.
Wait, are they downstairs?
so
Yes,
they
he's
went
currently
down.
in one corner of the brig, while your horse is in the other corner, angrily chomping down hay and glaring out. Just now sitting there with his thumbs.
Okay, well I'll just be here if you need me.
Are you guys eating lunch?
Yeah, I'm eating lunch with Jason.
With Jason. Right.
Having a whole "I'm king of the world" moment.
Roll for King of the World.
So I go back
Make a
towards them.
dexterity save.
All right.
Wait, seriously?
No.
I mean, if you want to.
No.
Roll for King of the World. Okay. Actually, he rolled a 15 to try to persuade you to King of the World.
I'm going to roll to combat that.
Alright.
Roll to combat King of the World.
You're rolling to combat rolling.
That's
That
a
is a 12.
12.
Roll intimidation.
What?
16.
All right. So you're going back up to both of them.
Yeah, I need to get Jason.
You see, on the figurehead, a rather built half elf holding the waist of Jason as he's up there yelling, "I'm King of the World!" Oh, hi, boss.
Seriously, this was his idea, and I'm kind of contemplating just kicking him off.
Do it.
I'm amused.
Do it.
Do it.
He is also amused.
Jason?
Yes.
I'm
Shouldn't you be asleep or
going
something?
to push him.
Sure, make an athletics check.
You can push him off the edge.
You could use
16.
the cool.
He rolled a 1.
He jumps in.
So as he's turning around, his ankles turn a bit, and I'm going to go boop, and he whoop, starts falling off the edge. And he's going to attempt to make an acrobatics check to latch onto something. Failing that, he
Full speed ahead.
So, do you want to like pick him up or what?
there are ropes nearby, but you do not see. Whatever. There are ropes nearby.
I go to grab a rope to throw it to him.
Okay, make a perception check over the edge. Or investigation, how about that?
Okay, investigation. 16.
All right. You take a quick look over the edge, and you can't see him at all. You look over the other edge of the boat. You still don't see a sign of him
Jason!
at all.
Jason, if you're dead, can I have your things?
Jason! Jason!
There is no
Jason!
reply. He might be under the boat, you think.
Kill all.
I run to the back
Sorry.
of the boat and
Well,
keep
somebody
looking
was
for
going to
him.
get dragged along the bottom.
Congratulations,
keep
you
calling out and
killed
saying,
the guy who was
"Jason!"
falling in love with you.
I'm bad with
You
relationships.
can't swim if you want to, but you still. It's been like 30 seconds and you still see him. It's a large boat. So it's possibly still underneath it.
What's his constitution score?
Uh,
That would determine how long he can hold his breath.
his constitution score is. Did I actually make Jason? Is the thing?
Did you make up
There
Jason
is.
today? Because
Jason.
Yeah, Jason doesn't actually have a character.
Okay,
sheet.
great.
So his constitution is high.
Okay.
I know. Did you?
He's a
Enough
fighter.
to survive.
Enough to survive.
Enough to survive potentially.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
He's somewhere. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I thought he would maybe catch himself or something.
I just had an idea.
Okay. What?
You rope. I hand her one end of the rope, and I tie the other end of the rope. Like you gotta go.
No, I really don't. Okay.
Make an athletics check.
I also like to make an athletics check to not go over.
All right.
Contest.
15.
15.
18.
All right.
Natural.
She does not go over.
So you succeed in not going over. It's a bit of a scuffle. But you do get the idea that someone going over the edge to maybe swim for him could be a good idea.
Hey, Gregory.
No! No! Don't send the goat, man!
Yes?
So, it seems that
Idris.
somehow, Jason
Idris.
What do you
went
mean
swimming.
somehow? Jason's down
I
there.
use one of my spells.
And-
Oh no.
He hasn't come up in
I'd
a
like
while.
to
And
take a long
um,
rest if possible.
actually, sorry.
Get my
Sorry.
spell.
Let me rephrase this.
Get my spell.
Jason's snorkeling.
back.
He's not. And snorkeling's
Roll
this thing.
roll history. History.
This thing that we do where we go swim around in the water.
14.
Okay. Yeah, you've heard of people snorkeling before.
So, do
You've
you
never seen a
want
snorkel, though.
to go on a snorkeling excursion? We got this rope. We're gonna tie it to your waist. We don't have time for this.
Well, he needs a companion. You see, I have hooves. I
Oi.
can't really swim
Stuck
very
up.
well, but I
They're
can
trying
create.
to drown the goat. Are you going to stop this?
But I can create a
I'm
gadget
going to walk up.
that will hop in the water and
No
swim along
one's
with him.
throwing the goat off the ship.
Someone needs to go and get Jason.
What's wrong?
Jason's dead.
What happened?
Jason fell
Jason was
overboard.
murdered
I don't
by
want
the
to talk
half-elf.
about it right now. And he hasn't come up yet.
I'm going to grab a rope and go jump off. Oh, I'm going to grab a rope, take my armor off first.
All right, that's gonna
How
take a
long
full
will it
minute.
take you?
Avert your eyes. He's a married man.
Wait, what armor?
Chainmail.
Okay, it does not take you a full minute to take that off. It's
Okay.
like 30 seconds to
Yeah.
take that off.
And I'm going to
While
Jump in.
he's taking that off, does anybody want to do anything?
I like to have the ladies avert their eyes.
Pray.
All right,
I make-
sure.
I make a
a
gadget.
religion check.
7.
All right, you pray.
I'm not very religious. It just,
All right, so
I'm
you
still
jump
trying
overboard.
to convince
Huh?
the goat
Jump
dude.
overboard.
Yes.
Make an acrobatics check.
He got this.
I'd like, yeah.
Natural one.
Yep.
I'm into the race.
Jason's gonna die.
You take a walk and you heroically jump off on top of the mermaid on the prow. Take 2 steps and miscalculate and just and you just fall. In fact, everyone who listens. There's no splash.
Hope I'm Peter Pan now, everybody.
Mercy Light, what happened to you?
You realize that there's a rope now wrapped around your leg, and you're hanging like 10 feet upside down from over the water.
I'm
Would you like
fine.
some
I'm,
help?
I'm just hanging out here.
Ooh.
Send the
I'm
goat
afraid I'm gonna
boy.
have to cut you loose for
Hey,
that.
so now
That's it. I
Wait,
grab
wait.
I grab
I
a different
say,
rope.
I've
I
got
tie
this.
it to one side and I jump over the side.
All right, you do that.
Do I need to roll for that?
Roll acrobatics for jumping off the boat.
14.
Okay, so you now with a full sense of urgency run to
Could
the
you
back
help me
end
out
of the boat,
too?
and you grab a rope and
You
you
want to
jump
pull him
over and you
up.
dive into the water. It's not the most beautiful dive, but it's a pretty decent dive. Oh yeah, sure. You take your hat off beforehand. You
I
toss it
just
in the
thought
mud.
of that.
I will attempt to haul Helen back up, but I
Alright.
don't think I'm gonna succeed. Oh, that's good. That's an 18.
All right, you begin hand over hand pulling, and you meanwhile hand you feel yank.
Yank.
Gregory.
Yank.
Gregory doesn't notice him helping him up. he thinks he's gonna help out. So from his toolkit, he pulls out a giant pair of clippers and cuts the ground.
Roll a d4.
Who, me?
No, him.
For what?
Oh, you?
Just roll a d4.
This thing is hard to roll.
3.
All right. So you take the thing and you sip, and then you realize, hey, nothing happened. You look up and you see there's Idris looking at you. You sip the rope on the other end of his.
I'm glad I was here for this.
And eventually they pull him back up. Meanwhile, you make an investigate. Actually,
So how much are you going to pay me
make
to
an
not
investigation check.
tell your wife about this?
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure she already knows about it.
19 plus investigation 21. 22.
all right.
She has a way of finding out all
so
my
you
embarrassing
see-
moments.
Right away, near the rudder of the ship, there is
A dead
your
man.
very good friend Jason, and his arm guard is actually stuck in the rudder of the ship, and he's like trying to grab at the straps there to undo it. But he can't quite reach it against the current,
Okay, so
and it's clearly he's starting to lose air.
I do my best to swim to him, and I'm gonna do something really
So you
dumb
lost
because
it.
I still have my rapier on me,
All right.
Time
and I
Mhm.
slice the arm guard off.
All right.
Question mark?
Make an athletics check to
Just
swim
cut
to
the
him.
arm off.
What'd you say?
Athletics check to swim towards him.
Athletics check to swim towards him. 10.
All right, you make your way very slowly towards him, and he is starting to pass out.
Jason is dying of
In retrospect, why didn't
Jason
we
in
talk
the
about
ocean.
the
You
fact
guys are idiots. It's not my fault. He's dying.
I'm the
trying to
smartest
save him.
person on this
So
ship.
He's
you,
going to
you
die.
do make it
He's
to him,
about to die. He just died.
and you see him. He like the couple last bubbles go out, and he has just now passed out. What do you do?
The rapier is too long.
I don't
Knife
think
rapier
we-
is too long. I had a
No,
dagger.
it's still
you
in the
threw it.
wall.
I didn't
Yeah.
ever say that I got it out.
Yeah.
Which is the problem. I don't have anything else. Can I
You know, a few missing brain cells. We'd hardly
try to
make
take it
difference.
off
You
or
can
undo it for him?
make a dexterity check with disadvantage because you're underwater and it's dark and stuff.
It's a 9. And also a 9. With dex is 13.
All right, so you managed to take it off, and you now are holding on to quite unconscious,
We're holding onto a piece of Jason.
quite unconscious Jason at the moment.
I did not get all the way through this plan.
Should he start making death saving throws?
He should.
He's gonna die. You're gonna kill him. It's Hannah's fault.
Okay,
I'm
just
bad
failed
with
that saving throw.
relationships. I think.
so he rolled a 9. So you see there's a, and you
Burst of balls. With
and
skulls in them.
so what do you do now?
Put some air into him.
Push off the bottom of the boat and try to float upwards.
Breathe some air into
All right,
him.
make an acrobatics. Make an athletics.
No! Like, if it's like this. it
Breathe
goes-
some air into him.
No!
You are tied to a rope, by the way.
Underwater.
Just tug
I
on the
know.
rope.
Nobody's looking at the rope, are they? You don't know
Yes,
that?
we're staring at it intently, just going.
Okay, fine. I pull on the rope.
Make a perception check.
Please, someone.
Hey, I'm great at these. Got a 3.
That would be a 16.
Okay. And Hannah.
I got a 6.
Wait, me too.
All right. So you're currently working on.
Yeah,
Oh wait.
You're
No,
really
go ahead.
gadget.
Anything. Wait, perception?
Yeah.
12.
All right. So Halon, you notice that this one rope is like being pulled and nothing's holding onto it. It is tied, but it is quite a bit. You
Okay.
see it starts trailing out a bit.
Okay, I'm going to grab onto it and start pulling it up.
All right.
Please
Make a
pull, please.
athletics check.
Are you gonna yell
If
at
anyone would like to help, now would be the time.
me? Yeah, I
I'll
think
help.
That was an 11.
All right.
I guess so. Hey, an 11.
Wait,
20.
what are we rolling for helping?
After that.
Athletics.
Oh, I actually got 17.
Oh, actually 24. Nice.
What's a
But
nat
nat
20.
20? Nat 20.
So the three of you begin grabbing and begin pulling your way up, and immediately again Gregory is thrown off his feet again. When somebody else grabbing her up, this time it's actually the barbarian who's just taking that. She's just hauling her way back up the ship, running with this rope over her shoulder like Popeye the Sailor Man.
I
Oh
felt
joy,
bad
the
about
keel
losing
haul
it.
the captain now too.
Make it just a straight strength check to hold on to both him and the rope.
Not good.
Maybe you should type that onto yourself.
18 and strength is 19.
Nice. With a very firm grip,
He's alive.
get pulled overboard.
It was almost a 5 too.
I know.
And you end up landing back on. Okay, you're now at the railing of the boat. And how do you want to get on this? They're still pulling you up, but
We
it's
should
like
probably haul
thing.
them over.
Yeah, you're on the other end of the boat
some
right now.
assistance.
Is anyone?
I'm going to go help. I'm going to go help.
At least
lift
I'm
them up.
offering.
I'm
Alright,
like
roll-
this. I can't do anything.
Roll a strength check.
Oh, I'm
That's
amazing.
like-
Just him. Oh.
I'm
Still
amazing.
Hey, should we, like,
16.
move our dudes?
All right, you do
Oh,
actually.
maybe,
You
yeah.
manage to grab them with some struggle. You pull them both overboard.
Maybe, yeah.
Yay! On board.
On board. Sorry, back on board.
Thank you.
He's gonna make another death saving throw.
I'm going to cast Healing Hands on him.
Cool.
He
Great.
gains 1 hit point and is now stabilized.
He is.
I slap him for 1 point now.
So he says that he's not conscious, but his lungs are full of water.
So does somebody need to
Okay.
give him like CPR and stuff?
Just the water.
Not
as
it.
long as- Can anybody water bed?
I'm going to make a medicine check.
You do that.
That I'm going to roll that again. I got cocked. That would be a 24.
All right. You end up giving like a high, like he chokes out some water and breathes really heavily, and then he looks over.
Have a nice swim.
And he sees the barbarian, right?
She's on the other end of the boat right now, but he sees like there's ropes and stuff around. And he looks up and he's like, "It was quite refreshing," and kind of just like lies down for a moment.
Finally cooled off, have we?
A little bit.
Get some rest,
Good.
friend.
I'm
You've
all out
earned
of
it.
altruism for today.
I consider making a card, and then decide not to.
All right.
Stay away from that man.
Anyone want to say or do anything at the moment?
I am very
I'm going to go
wet.
put my armor back on.
All right.
I'm gonna stand back up.
Y'all do.
So, nobody's really been manning the ship through all of this, so
Other members of your crew have seen the problem and have.
they've
been
fixed it.
They're
But
smart.
they're all everything's
Everyone
messed
except
up.
for Jim is smart.
No, you're all idiots. I'm the only smart one.
All right, so that's kind of all that's currently happening at the moment, and you do begin to see off on the horizon there is a landmass.
Finally.
Looks like you won't reach it. It's now evening. You'll probably reach it the following morning, and this is getting near to where you guys are trying to get.
Cool.
We're almost to that place that we keep on forgetting the name of.
Recanto?
Yes.
There's still currently in the distance the red sails. They're still not gaining on you, but they're
Have someone
haven't
keep an
lost
eye
you.
on that ship. They might
Oh,
try and
watch
attack
it
us again at
all
night.
They're giving orders.
You keep an eye on the ship.
That was my plan.
Excellent.
I don't pay attention very well, but I will try. The fact that I spotted anything at all during this entire thing is a miracle.
Is there like a motivation?
And lifted anything.
I
This
know,
is
right?
the
Or persuaded people.
craziest adventure I've ever been on.
There should be
And that's saying
motivation
something.
check.
So
yeah, seriously.
anyway, so you
I don't need to notice things. There's just one thing in me in an arena and we just kill each other.
a large amount of the day after this remains rather uneventful. As evening sets, meals.
I'm actually going to take my rest during the day,
You'll take a rest during the day. All right.
so that way I can
I
just stay
got
up
to
the
go to
entire
bed
night.
sometime.
Okay.
I take my rest of the night.
All right. So you are doing business about the ship.
Yeah.
What you call anything you want to do during the day?
Debate whether or not I should be avoiding Jason. And
Roll a die.
He liked me and then I pushed him overboard. How awkward.
That's a
One.
1. Go for it, baby.
You
only
got
live
nothing
once.
to lose.
you realize that you may have actually really hurt his feelings.
He doesn't have feelings. He's just a man.
He's just lawful stupid.
At least he's not an elf, though.
Yeah, he's not an elf.
so Jason, about earlier,
Yes. And it's definitely the reason you walked into my room and woke me up after throwing me into the ocean.
Yes, how come you have a room and we have to live in this community?
sorry, I did not realize that you were asleep. This is awkward. I will leave now and talk to you later.
Oh, but don't go. We have such lovely conversations.
You gonna join him?
I'll talk to you later.
He looks like he's trying to act a little more pathetic than he feels. Like
Oh,
as
yeah.
if it took more of a
Jason.
toll on him than it actually did.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry about, dumping you in the water earlier.
Sorry about dumping him.
Kind of just, yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
I'll see you later, and go now.
So you leave,
I leave.
and he looks not too disappointed because he's quite tired. His sleep was interrupted by pirates, and then he was thrown overboard. He's had a day, and he decides to go back to sleep.
Wait, is he still wearing his onesie?
He is now. You have seen his onesie in. Actually, he's under the covers, but you understand he's wearing a onesie.
It's a different
Halon,
onesie
do
from
you-
another birthday.
do you want to do
It's
anything
closer
else
to
to
just
say?
one.
Or-
I'm going to try to make friends with our friend. I would like to know his name,
All right.
where he comes from, life goals. If he wants us to leave him anywhere. when we
Roll
land.
a
Nearest rock.
just roll a general charisma check.
16.
All right, so you have a long, friendly conversation with him, and he reveals that originally he was just a farmer, and decided he wanted to try adventurous life on the high sea. His very first voyage he was ever on, he was overtaken by the Red Raven pirates, and his ship in particular was captured by Captain Forkno, and he was pressed into a terrible servitude with the pirates there, and he seemed to be kind of one of the unlucky ones that was never able to get away. He doesn't quite have a mind for escaping scenarios or for fighting in general. He's
Or a mind.
yeah. He's,
Well, considering the very first time he went out to sea, he got attacked by pirates, I would say he's unlucky.
he's quite unlucky. And
I think he's a jinx. We should throw him overboard.
his name is Stefan.
Stefan.
And so he
And he
is
doesn't know how to spell it either.
he's a human.
I
And
suppose it's Steven.
he's
I'm just
With
gonna
a
say
Y.
and 3 F's.
Yes.
So yeah, he's a human. He used to be a farmer, and that's generally his story. That's about as far as you get with him for the evening. And despite his experience on the farm, the cow actually likes him. Your horse is better with him now. They seem to
My
have
horse is temperamental.
fixed whatever breach they had of trust they had before.
It's because we haven't been giving it sugar cubes. Blood
Great,
sugars.
Gregory, is there anything you want to do?
Where am I? Just there.
You have a rope doll you made earlier. You might want to write that in your inventory. You have a rope doll.
It's made of rope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It made out of rope.
Right. Let's see. I'm probably gonna just head below deck and tinker.
All right. Anything particular you want to tinker on? Toy, weapon, gizmo,
Your life.
gadget, the nature of reality.
Make a new life for yourself.
Make a new wife for yourself.
All right.
The laws of, want to tinker with the laws of
Make a
physics.
tinker check, just so it's roll and add your proficiency.
13.
All right. So as you take out these gears and springs that you had before, and you start messing with them again, you make a little device which you realize can either tick, that has a variable speed at which it ticks.
Made a
Congratulations, you
metronome.
made a metronome.
Yes, you made a metronome. Write that in your inventory too. You have a rope doll and a metronome.
A small person lives in the
What's
city.
inventory?
A small person.
That's
lives in
all
the
you
city.
do for the
A
day?
metronome.
So evening comes about. Those of you want to rest, take a rest.
Yes.
Go to playing Mafia.
All right.
Go to sleep.
Everyone goes to sleep.
I'm taking my rest. I'm awake.
So yeah, you're currently awake, keeping a watch. Are you currently asleep?
I like doing this right into the
Is
mast.
it evening?
It is evening, turning to night right now.
Yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm just gonna go sit in my cabin.
All right. So you trade out, and Jason comes out in his armor, looking a little sheepish about the course of the day, and he looks at you and just, I guess it wasn't much help today, huh?
No, you weren't.
No one asked you, okay?
You asked in general.
I look at Jason. I go, "You tried, and you were there when I called for you.
Well,
That's enough."
thanks for always being there for me. And he kind of rushes out before you can say anything, and goes to his duties. Everyone else asleep?
Yes.
Nope.
Make a nature check.
Oh,
Yeah.
XP?
No.
No.
I'm doing progression based.
Oh,
10.
No.
10. You start noticing some storm clouds start gathering and are looking rather ominous and start rumbling.
I say those clouds look ominous.
But it's
Looks
worth
like
it.
rain.
Not really.
Every life is worth it.
As the night begins to progress,
What do you
the closer you guys are getting to the island, the more the storm clouds are starting to compress, get darker, and as soon as flashes of lightning start happening, and there is a general rocking to the ship more than there has been in the past.
I don't want to miss one again. I'm good.
Do you do anything about it? Some of the sailors are looking nervous, but this isn't like panic-worthy storm yet.
Like it could get worse.
It could get worse.
It will.
I say, Jason, what are your thoughts on the current weather patterns?
He looks at the sky around him. He's like, if it gets any worse than it is right now, I think we might wait to the captain. See what we might want to do is you might want to head for that island. That island is folklore. It's part of the kingdom of Recanto, but it's not the mainland itself. It is its own contained island. Getting there, in particular, might be helpful. They only have one dock, though, and I wouldn't really want to navigate their reefs during the night. But if the storm gets worse, we could make it there. Alternatively, we could go out of our way and head more to the open sea. But with the pirates still on our tail,
Sounds like a bad idea.
yeah. If the storm gets any worse, I'll wake the captain.
Well, shouldn't somebody else wake the captain since you're the helmsman currently?
The captain will be awoken by somebody.
You are awakened.
I am one universe, and it is false.
You get a new feat. Woke.
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, joy.
Plus 10 to all wisdom
We're
checks.
not there yet.
11.
It's a story.
All the things I'm good at, I roll low for. But all the things I'm bad at, I roll high for.
Distracted by the storm, you are aware that there is something uncomfortable around you. You can't quite put your finger on it.
Hands on the back of my neck are just standing up.
Yeah, and you discount it as it's probably just some
Just
of the magic
electricity
items
in the air.
you have
Identify.
on deck.
It's a storm. Damn.
I'm not that kind of
All right.
wizard. I shoot cats.
Suddenly, suddenly there is a really jarring rock. The entire ship shifts a bit to the side and is uncomfortably tilted. Make an acrobatics check.
Oh.
Or dexterity saving throw.
I'd rather it was acrobat.
What's screening for you?
Natural 1.
So you're standing. You get to go for a swim. Standing at the edge of the boat, suddenly it goes over and you fall over the edge. Try to catch yourself on the edge of the.
Wait, you went overboard and who?
He went overboard.
Just him.
Just him.
Yay.
And
You got that contraption you
Jason
made earlier?
hits the deck and slides a few feet away from the helm.
So,
Y'all are awake now, by the way.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
what am I rolling?
You're rolling, and I guess that would be acrobatics.
Good.
Whew, boy.
That is a 23.
So as you're thrown overboard, you manage to grab one of the portholes on the side of the boat, and you're now hanging off the side of the ship. Not the railing, but you are hanging on the side of the ship now. And you hear Jason call, Yggdrasil! Yggdrasil!
What?
Every day.
You all right, friend?
Does this look alright?
He's going to stand up and then run over to the edge and throw you a rope.
I grab onto the rim.
All right, he's going to pull you up.
And then drops you.
And that's a 7 to pull you up. So he's like, he doesn't drop you, but
Let's
you
try
don't
and climb the
move
rope.
up.
I'll do this myself. In 10.
Okay, so you're also just hanging on the throat, which is currently swinging due to the ship just pitching and yawing back and
Would you
forth.
get somebody with a little more muscle density?
I stumble up on deck and go, Jason, what's going on?
And he's going to yell at you, oh, nothing much, sweetheart. You just tried to go for a swim.
Don't tell her that.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a perception check.
All right.
Tell her everything is fine and we're fine.
Nothing.
Everything is fine.
Okay, I rolled a 14.
Okay. You have an idea that this is a joke about when he went for a swim earlier, but you don't see Idris. You do see he's holding onto a rope.
Funny guys. I start walking over to check this out further.
All right.
I have to go back to sleep.
So in the overall swinging, make a acrobatics check again.
Don't fail me. Try to fail me. That's a 12.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage from the side of the ship as you, BAM, hit back into it again.
Ow!
Let's kill him now.
Can I take another perception check?
Sure. What are you trying to perceive?
Trying to see
The
if
inaudible out. Ow!
Okay, I hear the owl. Okay.
Do you?
I don't
Do you
know.
want to hear the owl? Then roll for it.
5.
You do not hear the owl.
It's really windy and there's a lot of noise happening right
Can
now.
I try and climb up again?
I'm kind of
You
confused.
can, yes.
13.
Okay. Again, barely able to keep his own footing in this and how much the ship is rocking. You slowly begin to climb your way up, back onto the ship.
And this is why I work alone.
I'm
In an
starting
arena.
to suspect mildly, maybe, that just watching Jason, that maybe Idris is hanging off this rope.
Okay.
I remember that he's an elf.
No, you forget that I'm an elf.
Jason, you know, I really think we need someone at the helm right now.
And he yells at you, "Get the captain!
Okay, I'm just thinking,
Get
why
the
don't
captain!"
you can just leave this rope? I don't know why you're still holding on to it.
He's going to attempt to intimidate you.
Oh,
That is going to be a 14 to intimidate.
get her.
Oh.
What am I rolling against it? Is it just what I roll?
I think it's charisma.
Charisma. 15.
15.
15. What do you roll against?
Against the intimidation.
Yeah, what did I roll?
14.
14. You understand that he's not trying to scare you, but he's definitely, very seriously, trying to get the captain right now.
I'll go get the captain.
He smiles, he says, "Thank you," and he starts getting back to try not to fall over. He's going to make another, there's another massive rock to the ship, and he's going to attempt to make a strength check to hold on to the rope.
That's funny.
That's funny you should mention that. That is a 14.
Okay, cool. Good, you're holding onto the rope. He fell over. And he,
No!
you fall about 10 feet down, and you're now like walking almost at the water's edge.
You know, I should have just gone through the portal. This would be so much faster.
And he's currently, you see that he's grasping onto the edge, and he's like, and you see that he's gonna make a Constitution saving throw.
Can I come
Nice, natural 20.
Can I come up and experience this?
Sure, you
Sue
can.
and I are now on deck trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, hey, you have to wake her up
I'm
first.
on deck
okay.
right
Well,
now.
she's awake.
I'm awake.
So hang on, go awake. So you see that when Jason hit the edge of the boat, the breath was knocked out of him, but he manages to hold onto this rope for all he's worth, and is hanging on for dear life with this look of like, okay, I can't help you out, buddy. You gotta climb. So you go to wake up, Sue.
Yeah.
All right. So you how do you open the door?
Eat it.
Yes.
I'm trying to
Can I
the door.
open it and she like falls into the room?
Okay. Roll initiative.
1.
8.
Okay, so you throw open the door as Shakal runs and trips and faces right into.
And I'm like hanging right outside the porthole.
Hi, Sue. We need you on deck. Of course you need me. What's happening?
Jason's holding a rope that's over the edge of the deck,
What?
and he wants you there.
Wow.
The ship shudders a bit as well.
Okay,
I don't know.
run up. I dash.
All right, so you get up there. You end up on the deck where Jason is currently. And you see his face is very red, and he's not really breathing right now.
I go to help him.
Okay, cool. Grab the rope and pulling him, or trying to help him specifically.
Helping him by grabbing the rope.
All right, make a athletics check.
17 plus 3, 20.
All right, so you begin pulling the rope back up, and as soon as he sees that you have it, he just more or less lets go of the rope and grabs it at intervals to make sure that it doesn't slip back at all. And make a perception check.
7.
His face is very red right now.
Oh, he's embarrassed.
Probably for multiple reasons.
Can I make a medicine check on him?
Yes.
Poor guy.
Climb up, please.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, I'm so amazing. That is a 11.
17.
All right. So you begin slowly climbing your way up as you are being pulled up as well, and you make it to the top of the boat.
Hey, you're back.
You see, this man clearly just had the wind knocked out of him, and he's been exerting
Which
himself
one?
as well. This would be Jason, and he's clearly been exerting himself, trying to pull a guy back
What's
up
your
onto the
character's
boat.
name?
You never asked my name.
I know.
By this point, you realize his name is Idris. I mean, it's been
Idris.
talking.
Idris. That's
I've literally
really
told
hard to remember.
3 people my name.
Well, 3 of them are talkative.
Well,
So-
2 of them are talkative.
One of them's dead. Anyway,
Actually, no. One of them cannot speak in a language that anybody else understands.
good point.
I give Idris a hug.
What?
I give Idris a hug.
Okay. Do you want to evade the hug?
I'm too tired right now, but I don't hug back.
All right. You give
So I
him a
just
nice
awkwardly just stand there like,
Is Jason okay?
you're crushing my ribs.
hug. Jason is by this point
alive.
beginning to recover.
Okay.
All right. There's another shudder, and you hear a
She takes no hints. She's just like,
and the ship begins again listing more into the storm that's currently been.
Good.
I am going to run downstairs and see if there's a hole in the hull.
Okay, you do that.
hole
Make an
in the
investigation
hole.
check.
I'm gonna run downstairs and make a hole.
Grady, what are you doing at the moment?
Total 20.
All right.
I think I'm downstairs and I just saw him run it.
I think I need to start doing some pull-ups.
So
and push-ups
you run
and work
down.
on my upper
And
body.
you see there's Gregory is just like sitting in a hammock, swinging back and forth with the screwdriver. Hey man.
Is everything
Um,
okay?
Are you asking him?
Yes.
Everything is fine.
But
I
I
look
did,
around.
I did also roll total 20 in my
Right.
investigation, yeah.
So looking around, you see that currently at the moment you don't see any leaks or anything, but the anchor winch has dropped
Oh.
and is actually in fact broken. The anchor winch is broken.
Oh, that's
you
not
broke
good.
my bloody ship.
Gregory,
Wait, you mean it's gone?
can you fix that?
Stop blowing holes in my ship.
Why I'll certainly do my best. And I go over
Stop
to
putting
the
ship around
anchor
my
winch.
holes.
make your tinker check.
Okay. 17.
All right, so you begin working on the mechanism as you like pull chunks of shattered wood out with your screwdrivers or whatever you have available. You notice that starts slipping more and more chains being let out. It looks like this should be braced or pulled. Yes.
I pull out my rope doll and shove it into the crack so it doesn't come out anymore.
All right, so you re-jam it, and there's a. All right, there's a quick slip, and that doll is shredded now. But it is lodged in place, and that anchor chain is no longer being dragged out. However, the anchor has slipped quite a bit and is causing problems.
Good thinking, friend. Good thinking.
All right.
That's not well enough.
So Sue, make a
Person check.
investigation check.
Investigation. 13 plus investigation. 16.
All right. So as you look about, you see that the sails are still up, trying to catch the night's wind, and is currently being tattered and thrown about. And this is what's helping the ship shake about. And these sails probably should be taken down. You hear from some of the sailors yelling up that the anchor is no longer being dropped, but it is dragging behind and causing problems with the ship.
It's literally dead weight. We should just cut it off.
And you also hear one of the sailors, actually this would be Jim's, runs up and screams, "We have a leak."
Oh gosh. Okay. So
I'm just sitting here doing nothing.
I am going to help.
I'm also sitting here
I'm going to
doing
start
nothing.
helping get.
I'm catching my breath.
I'm going to start
You're
helping
right.
get
Thinking
people
about
and stuff
All the complaints I'm
from
gonna write about on Yelp.
the deck up from the
There
bottom
are
deck up
pirates,
to the top.
storms,
All right.
PDAs.
Make an investigation check.
I'm just giving orders to everybody. You do this.
Nat 20.
Say
All
this,
right, so
do this.
you get all the people who are not necessarily starting with your wife, of course, up to the top deck. You load your horse into the winch that can pull above decks.
And the
As
rope
you do this, you see that there are actually quite a few. There's 4 lifeboats around. Each lifeboat can carry a fair amount of people as well.
But what about the horse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be interesting. You do get the horse up to the top deck and the cow.
What about Stefan?
Not Stefan?
I say, what about Stefan?
Oh, you get
Is
him
that
out as
okay?
well. I imagine you get him out as
Yeah,
well.
Can we put him in a different life raft than me?
Quiet you.
And
I'm
you
just
start
saying, he's unlucky.
you
All
start
I'm saying.
I want to
organizing
get the horse.
some people, and your wife begins motioning people to be near the life rafts in case they are necessary.
I'm
Not necessary yet. We can still make this.
Your
Oh.
sailors are still running around following your orders, but they have
Sails.
taken a mental note of where
The emergency
Halo and
exits
State
are.
and everything.
They are
Leak.
over
fix
any
the leak?
side.
We have a tinker
If
here.
you want to see how-
Gregory!
if you want to see how to fix the leak, make an investigation check. Or
Or
go ahead. What would you roll?
investigation. Yes.
Okay. You can't tell exactly where the leak is coming from, but you do see water is beginning to rise through some of the boards, and you are hearing a.
If only we had kept those dead.
I call for Gregory.
All right.
Gregory!
Wait, so what's with the anchor right now?
Why do we
The
want
anchor's in
Gregory?
place.
The anchor is
It's
okay.
in place, but
Okay.
it's still been let loose quite a bit.
It's,
All right, I run over to the captain, and
Any
there's
spells
some
like-
water
no, I
leaking
don't.
in,
There's water
there's a
beginning to
leak.
leak in.
Is there anything you can do to fix it?
but we don't know where the leak is.
Stick
You
your
don't.
finger in it.
It's somewhere down there.
I create a little what?
Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
I create a gadget that can swim downwards toward.
That's gonna take hours, if not days.
Okay.
You're good, but you're not
Um,
that good.
I like the idea though. Keep coming with those ideas.
Investigation check.
All right, go for it.
18.
All right. So you begin running about the inner deck of the ship, looking for anything that seems out of place. And over the past day or two, you start becoming more familiar with this, and you see that one of the beams is cracked and water starting to come in through there. And as you're looking around, you see that there are similar cracks. It's almost as if something was pushed really hard right into that specific area to cause a crack.
We're being attacked by a sea monster.
No, we're being attacked by Captain Nemo.
No, you sabotaged us.
What do you do with this information?
Wait, so again, there's a crack that's something.
So there
to
is
judge
one
into?
particular crack that you see, and then you see another crack similar to the same one in how it's been made. It looks like something hit the boat as a very focused strike. So perhaps a
Focus.
rock or something, but something definitely struck the bottom of the boat.
Okay. I look around for anything to plug the leak.
Make an investigation check.
20.
All right.
Not natural.
So you rummage through some of the barrels, throwing things behind your back, and you find that there is a bit of some tar you can find, and there is some other such binding agents that you can cobble together into some sort of makeshift glue. And you run in there and make a
Thing.
just roll.
Just
Not
roll.
this.
Add your tinker modifier. So your proficiency modifier.
17.
Nah. 17. So you begin plugging this leak, and you see like another one comes up as well, and you're make a perception check.
15.
All right. You realize that you can plug leaks, but there's going to be more leaks being made. You need to find whatever is causing the leaks, whether you've copied some rocks or whether the anchor itself is causing damage. There is something that is causing problems here, and that needs to be fixed. And that can't be done from inside the boat.
I go back up and tell the captain this.
Okay. you
Someone
don't
needs to go for a swim.
I am not joking.
I volunteer Jason.
How about no?
I'm going to pray for safety for everybody.
All right.
Oh, that's helpful.
Does that
Religion?
actually do things?
That would be a 7. Dang it.
You pray.
Okay.
So
How's
Jason,
that working out for you?
Jason is standing here and he's like, well, if you want me to, I can make an intentional swim. I do know how to swim.
Sure you do, Jason. Sure you do.
I don't know if I want to sacrifice Jason or not.
I say we sacrifice Jason.
Any other opinions? Anybody?
Oh wait, I have a better idea. How about Stefan earns his keep?
How about
He's
no?
too stupid for this mission. Trust me.
He's a landlubber who doesn't know how to swim, probably.
I don't care. Also, I don't know that.
As you are discussing this, Jason is grabbing a rope and starting to tie it around his waist. Like, I mean, I'm not the best swimmer, but no one else says anything.
Who is the best?
Dang it.
He looks kind of awkwardly at Sue, like.
Then I say we sacrifice the cat.
If only I was level 2, I could cast Shield of Faith on him and increase his armor
That would be
class.
nice if we were
Dang
all-
it.
By this point, Jason is walking towards the prow of the ship, like,
He's gonna go if nobody else. does.
okay, I'm gonna jump unless ordered otherwise.
Why don't you?
Wait, Godspeed, friend.
Can I give him bardic inspiration?
You've rested,
Yes.
so yeah, you can.
Yay!
So I say, good luck, and wait. So what do I give him?
You give him
D6?
the D6.
You give him 1d6. You don't actually have to physically give him a d6.
No, you must give him the D6.
But it's nice when you
All right.
do.
So he looks at you, smiles, and nods, and he's going to make a jump. As he's about to jump, the ship launches he falls over, but he's already tied himself to the rope, and you hear a splash, and it seems like he's landed fine. A moment passes, and you see the rope is still kind of trailing off over the
We're
edge.
fishing with Jason.
Oh, crap. We probably are.
Oh snap!
Wait,
Wait. He said there
It
were
might be
reefs.
anchored.
It might not be the bad guys.
You see
So you
there's
just
the
threw him into some rocks.
it's D&D. You think it's as simple as just a reef?
there. You
never
see the
know.
ship is still rocking,
Still
and there's
anchored.
you hear like a cracking
I
sound,
told
and one
you
of
there
the
was a
masts
monster.
falls down right into the center of the ship. Not one of the center masts, but like one of the yard arms snaps off and starts falling down.
I'm gonna get in one of the life rafts. Just
Ready the lifeboats.
Okay, people
I
start going to left.
will leave
Yes.
in like 5 minutes.
Okay, I can play as you after you have to leave.
Okay.
you learn.
So
what
anyway,
happens.
the well, I'll tell you if you live. So
Ow.
That's comforting.
you do see that
I'll
the,
use
the
her
wind
as
is
more
still
time for homework.
plucking the ship back and forth, and the sails are starting to tatter and tear. Make an insight check.
Inside.
13.
Okay.
23.
All right, you look up at those sails, and you realize, as a captain in a storm, you should really take those sails down.
I thought I ordered them to do that already, but I guess not.
How
I call out to some of them, the sailors.
many sailors are there?
There's a
besides-
few.
There's like 5. You've
Everyone's
met 2 of them, basically.
Frank
Okay.
and Jim.
Frank,
Jason.
Jim, Jason, there's 2 more.
Yeah.
We'll figure them out later.
Right.
If they live.
Thomas and Joe.
No.
You're wrong.
One of them's an elf. Anyway. So you command someone to go up and
Yeah.
are you, anyone in particular? Just the 2 nameless ones so far.
Dimitri.
All right, so Dimitri is going to climb up. Okay, he gets halfway up the rigging and it rocks again. And he whoop into the water.
Oh, no.
Well, there goes Dimitri.
Yeah, no, that's too many people today.
Okay.
I don't care anymore.
I am going to be helping people into the lifeboats.
All right, so you're helping people into the lifeboats. Are we sending anyone else up for those sails, or
I'll go.
Okay.
Send Stefan.
make an acrobatics check?
Stefan, get us there.
Stefan's too dumb for these things.
Ooh, nice.
He's been
19
on
plus
press gate. He knows how to do it.
25.
25. All right. So you get up to the mast and you start pulling in the sails. You don't do it necessarily,
I'm gonna start using your chair.
but you do it in a manner
Yeah, and you
efficient enough that it is passable. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hopefully you won't die.
We'll try not to.
So you start pulling the sails in, and the ship's rocking improves. It's no longer pitching, yawing, threatening
Oh,
to
no, it's
Dimitri
getting
overboard
better
again.
at
Make an investigation check.
15.
All right, running over to the side, you do see Dimitri is treading water right there.
I throw him a rope.
All right, he's going to try to grab the rope.
I tie it off, and he's gonna have to climb up.
He
himself.
grabs the rope and he's going to try to climb up. He does not climb up.
Alright, grab the rope.
All right, try
I'm
to pull
already
him up.
moving on.
Wait, what would this be for?
This would be athletics.
10.
All right, you slowly start pulling him up, and he does slowly reach up into the side. Meanwhile, over where Jason is, you see the rope suddenly goes taut, tied to where it is. Do you guys do anything?
You go check it out.
I'm not gonna let
I'm going to go check. I'm going to go check it out, I guess.
All right. Investigation.
yeah.
We're playing investigation or pull it back.
I'm
or...
going to tug on it twice just to see if he's signaling us to pull him up.
All right, do that.
What do I add to that?
And that's athletics.
Athletics. So 12.
Okay. All right. You don't feel any tug in return, and then suddenly you hear a ripping, like tearing, breaking sound. And looking behind you, you see that actually the bit of railing that the rope was tied to has snapped. It's being flung in your direction. Make an dexterity saving throw to avoid the hit.
Oof. That's a 7.
Oh.
Okay. That's the wrong thing.
If it's flying at me, would it have to beat my armor class, or is it big enough that would you just?
It'd be like a trap.
It'd more
yeah.
like a trap.
Okay.
You take 5 points of damage,
Okay.
and you are knocked prone.
And the thing is still flying towards the water?
It is now falling over the edge.
Can I try and reach out and grab it?
You're prone.
You're
I'm
prone.
prone, that's right.
No,
Okay.
you got hit by it.
Great.
And it's over the edge and gone. It's
No.
pulled under.
Jason!
Well,
Why
that was fun
Jason?
fishing.
Can I roll a history check based on what's been happening to see if I know what this is?
Sure.
Look what you've done.
That was not good. That's
You
7.
sent a.
You don't know what is, and the battery died again.
Nah.
You don't know what is.
Neither does the audience.
You currently don't know what is actually. Can you guys move into where Hannah was sitting?
This way.
Absorb her.
Guys, can you scoot
Further.
that way so that I can come around this side?
That's more messing up here.
My lap.
Thank you.
This is not.
Currently, 3 of you are in there.
I can't scoot anymore, Grady.
Scooting the chairs.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Makes more sense.
We have half of Micah. We have Sam's shoulder.
There we go.
Good enough.
When I need to be in there, I'll just lean in.
Yeah, sure. So you guys, you kind of don't know what's happening. There's no. This is relatively shallow water, so you think that it could potentially be a reef or rocks, but you don't know anything specifically about this area. You're still in the map, by the way.
Yeah. Have I taken all the sails up?
You have.
Okay. Then I climb back down.
Okay.
Is this?
That's an acrobatics check again.
Oh, okay. 25.
Okay. So as you make your way down pretty easily, you see people are being loaded into the life rafts. Dimitri, you see, has been loaded into one, somewhat shaken. Everyone's currently either at a life raft or ready to add a life raft, except for Gregory, Halon, Idris, Chakal, and Jason is nowhere to be seen. Did you actually see what happened to Jason?
I don't think so. I think
Okay, you didn't see what happened to Jason.
I saw what happened.
You saw what happened to Jason. Do you want to tell her what happened to Jason?
Yes.
Okay, you do that.
What happened to Jason?
He went under.
What do you mean under?
I don't think he'll be coming back.
Okay. That's depressing.
Can we leave?
Wait a second. Nah.
Chakal decides that she's going to go down and attempts to pull the anchor in.
Sounds
Or
like
break
the
it off.
barbarian.
Either pull it in or break it off, but at any rate, attempt to get it to stop. Currently, you do have a bilge you can pump to get water out of the boat, and it's still taking on water.
Were we going to let Stefan out of the brig, or were we just going to leave?
He was already.
Stefan calls out from the little lifeboats. I'm already here.
Shut up, Stefan.
Okay.
We never locked him up.
Nobody cares. I
Uh,
said take him to
seems
the
like a
brig. He
bad
was in the brig.
Huh?
I said take him to the brig. Is that not where you put him?
Yeah, you put him in the brig. You just left the door unlocked.
I trust him.
So
I don't think we should trust him with prisoners ever
I don't
again.
think so.
So Chakal manages to start pulling in the chain manually. Since you kind of broke the winch, you can't use that. So she's just like hand over hand pulling in the anchor, and she just wraps it over and around the winch that it used to belong to. And another crack happens to the boat. So whatever's happened to the boat is not the anchor, but the boat is no longer listing to the side. It's now somewhat controllable.
Okay.
It still is taking on water,
Yeah.
but you do have a bilge you can use to pump to try to get water out.
All right. I tell are Frank and Jim in
Yes.
the lifeboat?
They're by lifeboats, but they're still waiting for fans.
Okay. Well, I tell them to go and use that to start pumping water out, and then I go to the helm to see if we can move the ship.
All right. Okay. So they are pumping water. You're currently not taking on any water, but you're not seeming to get any a good amount out. You're just kind of maintaining the status quo at the moment. The boat is still shuddering and shaking every once in a while, like you're in rough, shallow water. But you do see the mainland or the island is still a good distance away.
We need to get closer to it.
Sure.
I don't know
If
how
that's
to
what
make
you
it
want.
get closer.
You can steer closer to
Steer
it.
the ship closer.
Steer closer.
Steer the ship closer.
All right, so you're steering closer to the ship.
Roll for
Yes.
closer.
All right, so as you begin steering it, it goes a little way, and you feel it jerk and kind of being pulled another way.
That was
It
weird.
feels like it's caught on something.
Something's not pulling us. There's
Dimitri, what did you see down there?
I didn't say anything. I was trying to keep my head above water.
More's the pity.
Can I make an investigation check?
Not above the surface of the water.
We're gonna
I
go
am
fishing
not
again.
going swimming.
Wait. I'm going to cast. Is it like a piece of wood or piece of random debris?
There are quite a few pieces of random debris.
Something that would sink?
Yes, you can find some
Okay.
chain or something.
I'm going to take that, cast the light cantrip on it, and throw it overboard and see if it illuminates anything down there.
All right.
I swear if you see
You
a
do
big
that.
giant-
As you throw it overboard, make a, I guess, nature check.
Yes. 6.
All right.
Oh.
As it goes down, you do see there are shapes in the water. You do see that there are some fish, schools of fish swimming around. You do see that there are some rocks swimming above, but it doesn't look like you're stuck on any of the obvious rocks. You don't see anything in particular, and you don't know a lot about the ocean anyway.
I'm going to call. Sue, are you doing anything right now?
I'm trying to steer the ship.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything right now. I'm smarter than you.
Yes. Come help me look. I'm going to cast light cantrip on something else again and chuck it down,
All right.
and he's going to help me look. So both make nature checks again.
Yes.
7 again.
Natural 20.
You look down there, and you
Thank
do
you.
see
All the way to the
you do
bottom.
see some sea creatures, but whatever's happening is deeper than the 20, 30 feet you can see from the light before it fades away. You do see some flickering shadows that could be seaweed.
We're just in the Sargasso Sea, that's all.
Who else do we have? We do have
No sea mapping.
Stefan. We do have Jims, and we do still have Dimitri. So we have Dimitri, Jims, Stefan, and Frank, I believe, and one nameless guy still.
I thought Stefan
Maybe
got to a
not
lifeboat.
important.
Yes, they're in the lifeboat.
Oh, they're
the
in the
lifeboats
lifeboat.
haven't been launched yet.
Got it.
I'm waiting to pull that order.
All right.
We need to get as close as we can.
I'm trying.
Another attempt on the bilge. Succeeding, some water is starting to get out of it, and you guys are getting closer to the island, but it's not a direct course.
Would you be able to tell if there's some kind of creature down there that was attacking us?
Maybe.
This is a good time
I mean,
to play a little song.
are you playing an instrument?
No, stop.
Okay.
Do
You
I have the
can.
ability to like lure sea creatures with the music.
Not really, but
Maybe there's some mermaids that can help us.
I mean, you could just like tie yourself up to a rope and then just peek your head underwater and see the hull of the ship, see if you can understand what happened with the fractures there.
Who here has dark vision?
Everyone but him. Wait, you don't have it either.
You.
No,
It's just
I'm
the two of us.
Chakal technically does too.
Okay.
And she is free.
I'm gonna
Uh,
tell her to.
Chakal's the best at pulling people up.
She is
This
as
is
well. Chakal has the best strength in general, so she's looking up and she's looking frustrated because she isn't able to punch anything right now and she doesn't like you guys.
So I don't want her to pull. I don't want to be responsible for her to pull me up if she doesn't like me.
She likes you more than me, though.
That is true.
This is true.
She is looking.
Why don't we have your? Does your wife have dark vision?
She was below deck when the whole Jason thing happened. She's going up and like, where's Jason?
Well, I don't necessarily need dark vision if you hand me a light glowing thing.
That's true.
This is true. Okay. I'm going to cast light on a piece of something and hand it to you, and then we're going to tie him up and then throw him over so we can have a look.
All right. Make a dexterity check for who's tying the knot.
Who's got the best dexterity? You do. You should tie the knot.
Should I make a
Really?
check for
Who
great?
has
After
that
Sue doesn't have
dexterity?
that.
To
She's
not
steering the
have
boat
focus.
right now.
Yeah, I'm busy.
That's a natural one.
Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right.
tie the knot.
Hang
then.
on.
Okay.
Hang on.
You don't know that
Okay.
I failed.
You look
You
over
just know
and
that I tie a rope.
you see that there's he just ties a knot. All right. You look over and you look down like, all right, that's a knot. All right, cool. You're currently tied, more or less, to a rope, which is currently in the connected, like tied to the main mast. Are you going to do your light cantrip thing?
Yes, I cast on a piece of wood or something and handed it to him.
All right. You can.
I take it.
All right.
And
Jump.
run over and jump off.
Make an acrobatics check.
We've been doing too many of those.
Nobody succeeded. I
I
think
have really
you
good
made one nice
acrobatics.
acrobatics check off the edge.
15.
Yeah.
Nice. Two
I
nice
swan
acrobatics checks.
dive.
So you also make, having seen Sue swan dive, you make a swan dive, but you actually put a bit of a flip in there as well with your goat legs,
We'll call it a goose dive.
and you land in
A
the
goat
water
dive.
and you start swimming down. What do you do?
Well, I'm holding the thing, so I'm looking at the boat. So
Okay.
investigation. Or
Investigation.
something? A 12.
All right. So you're looking at it, and you see that there are some rocks that are grinding against, but that's not what caused it, although it isn't helping. And as you're looking at it, you see, out of the range of what you can see, so this large fleshy thing goes and pinpoint hits part of the boat, and the boat shudders a little bit. You see another little crack in the timber. And then as you're looking down into it more, you still see another one of the things swim over and miss the boat, kind of entirely, but rocks it with the waves. Whatever this is, you can try to make a nature check if you want to. Is too deep for you to see with the light where it is right now.
Well, will a nature check help me? Sure.
You never
Depends on
know
what
till
you
you
roll.
roll.
7.
You don't know what it is from this current distance of light.
All right.
You do see there are a couple of drifting light things that are still falling from his earlier attempts.
I give 2 tugs on. Can you tug on a rope while you're
Yeah.
hanging
Yes.
from it?
Yes.
You're in the water. There's
Yeah.
buoyancy.
Shoot. I tug on the rope. To
All
be
right.
pulled up, hopefully.
As you start getting pulled up, you see this large fleshy thing start swinging for you. Make an acrobatics check with disadvantage for being underwater.
Goodbye,
That's pretty good,
Gregory.
We hardly.
Oh
No! 6.
Okay, wait. Is that total 6?
Yeah.
Total
All right.
6.
So as you start being pulled up, this thing latches and grabs you, and you suddenly understand that, oh, this is a tentacle. And then as you're sitting there, make a Constitution check, Constitution saving throw.
10.
All right. You feel you're starting to get crushed a bit, and the air kind of leaves your lungs. And you see, as you drop your light source, as it's going down, you see this giant mouth open up, and you see there's a couple of these little eye stalks here. Make a nature check.
Well, that's where Jason went.
Oh, 20.
Natural 20?
Yes.
All right. You heard scary stories about this as a kid. This is a kraken.
Yay.
You start
level
frantically
1.
pulling
Yeah, you're level
on the rope. It's still grabbing onto you. What do you want to do?
Just give up and die.
Do I have a tinkery thing that I can, a tool or something that I can hack at the...
Stab
You have a
with
rapier.
screwdriver.
Oh, that is true. I pull out my rapier.
Okay, make
And-
an attack roll.
Okay. Wait. So what do I add to that?
Actually,
Plus
just
4.
make a dexterity, just a straight dexterity roll. It's right there. It's
Keep
pretty
this
hard to
roll.
miss.
Okay,
Just make a straight dexterity.
The attack roll would be better to hit with.
All right,
No,
fine.
that's this one, right?
No, just go with the regular to hit.
All right, just order to hit.
What are we doing?
Plus 4.
Plus 4.
Plus 4? 7.
All right. You like,
Not good.
and you kind of sink off the side, and you feel it like twitches a bit.
Who's that?
It's not a fan of being poked at.
Can
but
we,
it's not
can
like
we feel that he's being...
Yes, you feel a definite tautness
Okay,
throat,
so can we-
like what happened with Jason earlier.
Okay, can we try to pull him up?
You can attempt to.
Jason.
Let's
go,
do
boys.
it.
Jason gonna be dead. He gonna be permanent.
Messed up my roll.
He's already dead.
19.
Okay.
9.
All right. Make a Constitution saving throw.
10.
Okay.
And everybody died in the very first session.
You take.
Or just
How many hit points do you have?
11.
Huh. You start taking death saving throws because you guys almost bisected him.
Wait, what?
A Kraken's tugging
Oh,
him this
right.
way. They're pulling him this way. So you are currently unconscious.
Okay.
So on your next turn, you start...
You start rolling a d20. If you hit, if you roll less than 10, you fail. If you roll more than 10, you succeed. Fail 3, you're dead.
Okay.
Succeed 3.
And then you're
Stabilize.
permanent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
That's
mean...
good. Next
I mean, if we get his
You-
body
here,
back...
make a perception check. Either of you, both of you, whatever.
I
Did
don't
you?
know. I wasn't gonna be
Uh,
13.
that's for
19.
sure.
You saw before the lights started dropping, something grabbed him, and you see from the last bit of light as it's going down, as you pull, he's not responding to it, and that pull may have pulled something on him.
So something's got a hold of Gregory, and he's unconscious. I turned Scottish for a second there. What happened to me?
I get splashed, but I'm nervous.
You do see what is holding onto him, and you could try to attack that.
Am I close enough to it to attack?
Oi, Captain Sue, do you happen to have
Please
any
attack.
harpoons on
I would
board?
live.
Chakal has several javelins that she has.
Let's take those
Ask
javelins.
Chakal, she has the javelins.
Yes.
I'm not going to throw any.
Chakal looks over, and she actually kind of is amused by this little goat man. So she's going to. All right.
Jump in the water with me.
She's going to take her first javelin, and she's going to hurl it, and it enters the water. It kind of slows down, but kind of pokes, and you see the
Oh.
thing twitch again.
We're not
Um,
gonna be able to kill this thing.
do you want to do anything? You have your spells back.
Yeah, I know. Oh wait, I have
Cast.
magic missile.
All right, if you want to
Do
use
it.
that.
Yes, I do that. It just hits.
All right, what do you?
It just
Magic
hits.
It just
missile.
hits.
3d4. It just
Oh,
hits.
nice. Okay, cool.
3, 4,
8.
8 points of force damage.
The thing kind of hits off, and it's
That's how I do it. I do
decided
the
that
finger cut.
the prey is not worth that being poked at, and it retreats down below.
Hold on.
Pull him up! Pull him up! Pull him up! No!
Take a death saving throw. So roll a d20.
Nope.
I rolled this one really good.
Yes!
Save.
All right, so mark down one save.
One success.
One
Right there in
success.
the success bubble.
You are 30 feet below at the moment. So start trying to, if you want to pull him, start
Yes.
trying to pull him up.
He's not breathing.
Nope.
13.
All right, you slowly begin pulling him up, although rather nervous and frantic.
Chakal, any help?
You move him up about 10 feet. Take another death saving throw.
Ah!
I'm helping.
So they're safe.
18.
That's another
Yeah,
success.
so it's just. This is just kind of.
Alright, so Chakal is going to aid as well. Alright, and you.
19.
Okay.
12.
Okay. So between the three of you, you pull him up about 15 feet. He's 5 feet below the water.
Just dive in
You
and
get
lay
another
on
death saving
him.
throw.
1 failure.
Mark one off as a failure.
Yeah, mark 1's failure.
Alright. Pulling him again.
Ah!
No.
Natural 20!
Alright. So with a
Cute.
large pull from Chakal and from Idris, that kind of knocks Halon off his feet a little bit. They pull the limp, unconscious body of Gregory up to the boat.
I'll give him the breath of life.
I'm going to use lay on hands for 1 point.
Okay.
He is now stabilized
Alright.
and with 1 hit point.
You are now conscious with 1 hit point.
Does that cancel my?
Yes,
Okay,
that cancels all
so-
things. You're now at 1 hit point.
Oh, but I'm down to 1.
You don't know what grabbed him, though. You just know something did. You know what it is.
What was that?
Kraken.
We're getting the life
No, I should.
rafts
Wait.
now.
Let's rephrase this. That was a kraken down there.
Lovely. Let's get in the life raft.
Right.
Captain Sue, we're leaving.
How close are we to the land at this point?
You see that there is. You're actually now drifting quite a bit closer, and there is a good mile to row on life rafts. But it does seem to be largely shallow water that a kraken maybe won't follow you into.
If
We
we
maybe just pull a Captain Hook and Peter Pan and just do the.
if we leave the ship, that might distract the Kraken. Hopefully it'll.
There's
Go after
plenty
the
of
ship.
life rafts. The one with Stefan's a goner for sure, but the rest of them should make it.
Somebody else. Hey. Also, why don't you make the ship a bigger target? Make it more appetizing.
I don't know prestidigitation. I can't flavor it.
Wait, who's talking?
That was
Make it more
Stefan.
So,
appetizing.
Throw stuff around? Throw stuff off of it?
So stuff around any spell effects that might make it seem more appealing or
Does
more
anybody have
noticeable.
minor
I
illusion?
have prestidigitation and also minor illusion. Okay, cool.
Cast
so-
spells.
Minor illusion. What am I doing?
Would the ship being on fire help? Because that's about all I can do.
What is? Can I ask someone to roll for knowing a kraken?
Would I know
what the
if krakens would be attracted to light?
Exactly.
Roll nature.
Nope.
Nature, that is
Intelligence.
22.
Okay. You have an idea that it will probably attack whatever outside of its normal cone of vision. It may attack whatever is the most noticeable.
So light would probably help. I'd cast a lightning lure on something to light it on fire.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast light on a bunch of things and throw them in the opposite way that the
Are you
lifeboats
lighting
are
my
gonna be
ship on
going.
fire?
some random piece of junk floating out. I would
Yes.
assume.
I hope the lifeboats are going down already.
So lifeboats are on their way down. There is still
You're
one
lighting the
which,
ship on fire?
which they're holding on
No,
to
random
right now.
debris.
And
I
Chicago's currently
hope, yeah.
holding on to the last lifeboat, calling you guys over.
I want the
Also,
biggest thing to
Where's
be
your
noticeable.
horse, by the way?
The horse, I assume, they helped into one of the lifeboats along with the cat.
One of the lifeboats is
A horse
actually
in a
with
lifeboat?
Stefan's lifeboat at the moment.
Okay.
The cow
Also, yeah,
is in Frank's lifeboat. Where's your wife? Is she going to be with you or with?
she's currently staying with me right now.
She's
Also,
currently
the,
staying
the ship is on fire because he cast it on the ship, and the ship is.
All right, everybody go.
I was supposed to use minor illusion for that.
You can still use it.
But now what?
Make
now
a
you've
person.
already done the
Make a block of chum or something. I don't know.
Okay, I cast minor illusion.
Make another
And-
kraken.
It looks like there's
Minor illusion.
That's not a minor illusion.
I'm
A
a
tiny
kraken.
Tiny kraken.
Well, what does
big.
constitute minor?
It's a
Or
little
what's
one.
not minor?
It's a 5-foot cube.
5 foot cube. You
That's
can make a little
okay.
kraken. Like that big.
I make a fake
Flashing
Squid.
neon sign.
fake squid over in the water.
Okay, it's pretending to swim off.
You make a blooper.
Anything else? Anything else? Or you guys heading out?
We out.
Correct.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I needed from. No, it. We'll be fine.
All right, you don't want to check a hold for anything?
Yes.
Okay. Run down the hold. Make an investigation check. with advantage because you know you can hold.
You require some assistance.
14.
Okay. You make a dash towards one of the cabinets. You start pulling things off. You start grabbing. You grab 3 healing potions, of which intensity will be verified later. And you throw that into a satchel you have at your side. Yeah, you grab a couple of like daggers that you can find. You throw them in your bag as well. And you also take some supplies of food.
That might be nice.
Largely more survival-based things. You leave the wool. You leave the furs.
Most of the cargo then.
You leave most of the cargo. You do see Grady's little ball he made earlier. You throw that in the bag as well, along with some small crafting kit, just leather strings and things like that, string and yarn and stuff. And
She had like a medicine kit.
She grabbed that already.
Okay.
Like a first aid kit.
Got
Yeah,
it.
so you grab that and you rush. Make an athletics check.
Athletics 20.
All right, as you start making your way up these stairs, you are as the hold starts filling with water very quickly.
Time to go.
All right, so you guys.
Run and jump in the last boat.
So you guys are all getting in the last boat,
Yes.
and your wife is with you.
Yes.
The horse is already gone. All right.
The horse is
To
just
the
definitely gonna
island!
die.
Okay. I've never done this before. Hang on.
Oh
Where's
no.
percentage?
You roll
There's
2
the
Roll
2
twice.
D10.
2 d10s.
Is there another D10 or?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Is it cracking
Oh
attacking us?
no.
Cracking attacking us?
All right. You see, so there's the 4 life rafts that are traveling forward, and you see a large boat takes a wave. And it starts, swaying the boats a bit, but no one's capsized. Everything's fine currently, and you start keeping rowing.
Currently.
Everything's fine.
Everyone make athletics checks, including Chakal.
Bloody hell.
18.
13.
Total 20.
All right,
17.
and Chakal made a total of 21. So between you guys, you start pulling ahead. You start actually catching up to the back of the other groups, and you do notice.
way!
You do notice that there are more tentacles seeming to ride over where some of the light was cast.
Okay. I am sorry about
Yes, I did
Top
have
the
magic
ship.
missile prepared, just making sure of that.
Yeah.
Jason.
A tentacle reaches up and grabs the lifeboat with the cow with Frank and pulls
Dang
it directly under.
Oh!
Let's see.
Stefan
Stefan's fine. He's with your horse.
for now.
Currently.
Should be a high
Frank
percent chance that Stefan gets gotten.
Frank and the other nameless guy both pop over head and start swimming towards the nearest boat, which is you guys. The cow is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, of course.
Cow's probably gone.
Cow's probably gone.
That's okay.
I rode
Do
faster.
they make it to the boat?
They're currently swimming towards the boat. Do you want to row towards them?
Yeah.
It will take you a bit away from the island.
A little bit. Hey, they're my crew members. We need to get them.
All right.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Who's all going for them?
Let's go for them.
1,
Alright.
2,
Sure, yeah.
3. All right.
You're outvoted.
Yeah. So everyone make athletics checks again. Including you.
I refuse.
14.
Also 14.
17.
16. Well, thanks to your not cooperating at all, they actually go towards them instead of away, as Chakal was going straight just toward the island. It would have helped you in your endeavor to leave them behind, but oh well.
Are you rolling for my wife too?
No. Is she rowing as
Yeah,
well?
she's rowing as well.
Sure. She will. She's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, she's.
So she's paddling with her hands, but there are no paddles left.
Okay.
It's
Even
very
if I
cute.
had rolled, I wouldn't have helped. See, that would have been a 7.
Whatever.
Is this a 6 or a 9?
6.
It's a 6.
Okay. You see the tentacle comes up again and misses. But still makes waves. Everyone make dexterity saving throw.
Saving?
Saving throw.
14.
16.
9.
8.
Okay. Both of you are kind of knocked to the side of the boat, and you do not cooperate in the next athletics roll.
Cool.
Chakal drops her oar in the water.
Chakal!
Anybody else gonna roll for
For
athletics to get the boat going forward?
I can't.
Yes.
I only got 8. So.
21.
That was not good. 10.
All right, you're being average. You being rather concerned with your wife and horse on the line here.
Yes.
Push forward a bit further as
Wait, the
well.
horse is on the boat. How big is this?
The horse,
No,
horse is
different
in the other boat. The
Horse is
horse
in
is
the
with
other
Stefan.
And you do catch up
I do
to
hate your
Frank and
horse.
the nameless guy, and they do pull into your boat and they start rowing as well. They remain able to hold on to their horse. So
Big is this boat?
it is very cramped right now.
Bigger than you are.
That is a fact.
The boat is huge.
At least we didn't pick up the cow.
No,
The
it
boat is full.
boat is
We went to
full.
pick up the cow.
No, the cow's gone.
Cow's
Yeah,
gone.
the cow's gone.
Uh,
That's
The
okay.
cow went the
Cow
way
is
of Jason.
The cow is
So
cracking
you
chow
now
now.
begin pulling into. You're now in like the bay itself, and it starts getting much more shallow. But there still are torrential waves that are coming after you, and you hear almost from under the water.
Row faster! Row faster!
And as you look behind, you see the flaming remains of the ship. So you see 5 tentacles come up, 3 on one side, 2 on the other, and just
Like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I told you
Yep.
the fire would help.
and pulls it under.
Now is not the time for I told you so's.
There is
Uh,
always time for I told you so's.
One final, probably athletics roll.
Hey, I can help him out.
19.
17.
14.
Who rolled a 2?
I did.
So
He just
Call
There's the heroin.
begins pushing forward with a very
will
strength of
zap
2,
you so
with the strength of like 2 grown men. You have
just
Frank
thunderwave
as well.
all of you off
is,
of this boat. It would just be me.
Frank is rowing for his dear life. Your wife actually is able to pick up the oar that you call drop and starts
Yay.
rowing with a muster. And Stefan actually, leaping over you, by the way, gets to
Stefan's
the
not in our boat.
right. Not
Stefan's
Stefan.
not in
It
The
was
other
Frank.
unnamed.
It was
If Stefan was in our boat,
It was
he
the
would be
unnamed
not
Frank
in
and
our
the
boat.
unnamed
Sorry,
guy.
unnamed guy jumps to the front of the boat, and
Who
he
is he?
actually
Who was what?
The other unnamed guy with us.
The
Other
other
unnamed
named
guy,
guy
yeah.
is I ran out of letters. Hold on.
Bartholomew Bumblebee.
No.
He's a bit of an old man.
Nick.
Nick, fine, he's Nick. So
Nick, straight up
Nick
Nick.
jumps up to the front of the boat. And he actually takes his oar and he jams it into the front, right off the front of the boat, and he actually knocks off a bit of debris that was slowing you guys down.
Yay.
And you guys are pushing forward really
Woo!
quickly, and
We're
you
gonna
guys
live!
make it to the beach.
Why would
3
you
of your
say
4
that?
boats are there, along with it's you guys, Stefan,
horse.
Frank, Jim,
Jim's,
the horse,
Dimitri?
Dimitri, and Nick
And
are all there, along with your wife as well.
So
And you guys make it to the boat as the one kind of trailing right behind sort of like sinks on the way right to the beach, and they crawl out. They run to the beach, and you see right in front of you there are 3 men in blue robes with golden trim.
I roll a history check.
Enjoy the show.
No, that was a 7.
Okay,
I'm too tired. I can roll history.
make a religion check.
Yes, religion check.
My history, I got a 23.
I got a 12.
Overall.
Yeah.
All right. You recognize this to be an order of monks, different from the group that you were with. But you do see that they more or less are along the same alignment as you.
Okay.
These are definitely more of the not clerics in the adventuresome sense, but clerics are more of the literal.
Okay. So they're more like acolytes and such.
Yes. There. Stop.
Do they-
And you recognize through history that these are the clerics of lore.
Do they have any religious symbols on them that I would recognize?
They do have. One of them has his back turned to you, and he turns back forward. And you see on the back of his robe, he has embroidered a golden lyre wreathed by
Oh, I have one of those.
a laurel wreath.
Have a lyre? I do have a lyre. I'm proficient in lyres.
Nice.
And there's also a bound scroll underneath the lyre as well.
No, you're not.
And they turn around, and the one in the front sees you and says, "I am sorry for the unfortunate circumstances of your arrival, but welcome to folklore." And that's where we're going to leave it off for tonight.
Hallelujah.
Wow, you almost died.
Did.
Jason is dead.
Jason is dead, we think.
You think?
Watch as he
Stefan's
comes back as a
alive.
boss.
Yeah, Stefan's alive.
Stefan's alive. My wife's
Unfortunately.
alive.
Your horse is
My
alive.
horse didn't die. I'm very surprised that you kept my horse alive.
Yep. That's where we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you so much for everyone who was not watching this, but I'll upload
For the people
this.
who will watch it in the future.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And I'll try to keep the tech problems down to a minimum. This is our first time doing this setup, and hopefully we'll solve those in the future. So thanks so much for watching.
Hey.
Bye bye.
It's
Adios.
been surreal.
Woo. I'm not afraid.
You're not at all.